Hey everybody, it's Daniel here from Mobile Syrup, and today we're looking at the BlackBerry Q10. This is coming on May 1st to many carriers in Canada for around $200 on a 3-year term and $700 outright. Now, what makes this so unique is obviously the hardware QWERTY keyboard, which many people have been waiting for. This is, to many Canadians and people around the world, a definitive BlackBerry quality, and the Z10, while a fantastic device with an amazing virtual keyboard, just isn't able to personify the BlackBerry brand the way that a device like this is. So this is a natural evolution of the Bold 9900. It's got many of the same features, including that gorgeous QWERTY keyboard, but it improves things in many ways. Obviously, BlackBerry 10 is a brand new software experience, but just in terms of the hardware, we have a 3.1-inch 720 by 720 display. It's an AMOLED display, so it's really gorgeous, really deep, lots of nice color saturation, and you have a larger keyboard. The keyboard itself is quite a bit larger and isn't curved the way that the Bold 9900 is. And the hardware itself, we have a 1.5 gigahertz dual-core Snapdragon Plus processor. It's got 2 gigs of RAM for lots of multitasking capabilities, an 8-megapixel camera, same module as the Z10. We have a 2100 milliamp hour removable battery. So you can see this glass fiber backing. It's really hardy. It feels amazing in the hand. It's such a nice feeling in the hand. You can see that beautiful repeating display. It's not just for show. It's actually glass weaved. It's a fiber that's been weaved together, many layers, to create a very hard surface that is matte, so it won't slip out of your hand at all, even when it's sweaty. And it's very premium feeling, even though it can bend a little bit, but it's not polycarbonate the way that, say, a Samsung device is. Now we have that removable 2100 milliamp hour battery. We have the micro SIM slot, micro SD card here for expandable storage. There is 16 gigs of internal storage here as well for your media and other things as well, but you will want to get a micro SD card for all of the media that you're going to be consuming on here. And you have your volume rocker on the right side with a player pause button, and this feels great. This is also beveled aluminum, same as the Z10. We have that really nice power button on the top. It doesn't really have much use, considering that you can turn the screen on and off just using a swipe from the bottom, but it's a really nice hardware button, and it's a lot easier to reach because of the size of the Q10 as opposed to the Z10. It's really easy to just grip it and turn it on or off. We have that 3.5 millimeter headphone jack as well, and a second microphone for noise cancellation on the top. Left hand side, we have the micro USB port for charging, as well as a mini HDMI port for hooking it up to a projector or a television if you'd like to do that. On the bottom, we have the main microphone as well as the mono speaker, and this thing belts out some seriously good sound for a single speaker. And you have that BlackBerry logo as well. There's NFC behind here, so you can just tap it on something for general payments and stuff like that. But the main thing here is the keyboard. So let's take a look closer at the keyboard. You can see here that BlackBerry has taken cues from the Porsche design as well as the original Bold 9900, and you can see just how precise these keys are. The frets themselves are much larger than the ones on the Bold 9900, and the separation is a little bit wider, so you actually have a much easier time touch typing on here than you did on the Bold 9900. So anybody who loves hardware keyboards, you'll really appreciate the extra space on here. Same keys though. You have your symbol key, your shift key, your alt key, enter key, backspace. They're all in the same position, but you can do a little bit more with them this time. Now, something new here is called Quick Actions, and this is an expansion of the universal search feature that we found on the Bold 9900 and BlackBerry 6 and 7. And what it does is it allows you to actually make quick actions from anywhere on the home screen. So when you're just on your BlackBerry 10 home screen, I can say type tweet hello, and I will be able to tweet from the home screen right there. So super easy. I can do the same for email. If I want to say email somebody, and I can email whoever I want, and it'll be, I can compose an email right from there. You can also use it for looking up information. The default search is Bing, but you can change that in the browser. You can look up contacts, call history, whatever you want. Everything that you can potentially find in here is available through the quick actions. And you just swipe from the bottom to get rid of it. Go back to your multitasking screen. If you're not familiar with BlackBerry 10, you have this 8 active pane multitasking screen. Then you have your apps over here. You swipe through them. Most of the apps have been redeveloped for the BlackBerry Q10 screen size, so any ones that aren't available will become available, such as WhatsApp and Google Talk, both of which are not currently available at the time of this video, but they will very, very shortly. Most apps that I use on a daily basis, however, have been updated and look and feel great. So now that we're in the hub, you can see we have access to all of our accounts on the left side. One of the new features on BlackBerry 10.1, which is bundled with the Q10, is pin messaging. And this is a feature that came with some of the original BlackBerry devices and allows you to use the unique identifier of each phone, the pin, which is used to connect people through BBM to send emails or email-like messages, including with a subject to people. And I'll use this as an example to show off the keyboard. So what we have here is the keyboard, that everybody's used to, but there are some interesting additions that are loaded with BlackBerry 10.1. Now you have the ability to turn these off, but whenever you type, there's a row of 3 autocorrect buttons. Now, like on the Z10, it'll try to predict your next words. So it's going to say hello again for your help. Doesn't really make sense, but it's trying to interpret what you will say next, and that's something that was not available for the Bold 9900. A couple things have been improved with the Q10 in terms of text selection. Now, as you know, on the Z10, it was a little bit difficult sometimes to tap and find a word, or to edit a word, for example, with this bar. But this little circle now has been improved for text placement, so you can actually place your cursor anywhere you want, and it allows for a little bit more granular movement. So if I tap, and I actually just tap anywhere on the left or right, it goes 1 character to the left or right, and that's really, really useful if you're just trying to correct a word. So a single letter, for example, if I just backspace there, and then I want to edit another letter, I can just go backspace, 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 and remove it. Now, the same thing applies as in the Z10. You hold down for text selection, and then you hold down again to make your choices. And on the right side, we have select all, cut, copy, paste, and share, and then you can dismiss. Now the share box is the same thing as what you're used to with the Z10, but it goes a little bit further as well, because you can now share to pin. There's a few other features as well that I want to show you, and they're in the camera app. Now the camera is the same module as the BlackBerry Z10, but the software improvements are quite significant. So not only can you shoot in 1:1 ratio, which is kind of like the Instagram version, but you can shoot in the native 4:3 or a cropped 16:9 aspect ratio. And something that's been added to this is HDR shooting, which takes 2 photos, one with a higher exposure and one with a lower exposure, and it combines them using software. So I'll go back to the 1:1 ratio, and I'm just going to take a photo here of this lens cap. You can see it's focusing, and you just tap on the screen to take a photo. And what it'll do is it'll take a second to process it, and then you can go back in and look at it. And the editing features of BlackBerry 10 are quite extensive. You can add filters if you want. You can rotate, you can crop, you can transform in many ways. There are a lot of other things here that you can edit to make it a little bit better as well. Overall, this is a very similar feature, a very similar experience to what you'll find on the BlackBerry Z10. And the Z10 will be updated to BlackBerry 10.1 in the coming weeks, so you don't have to worry. If you have a Z10, you won't miss out on any of these features. One last thing that I wanted to show you is custom message notifications. So you have the ability now to, say, go into your BBM notification in your settings, and you can actually change the length of the vibration. So if you want to say, if you want differentiation between, say, an email or a text message and a BBM, you can make your BBM vibrate twice and your email only once. So you can't change the length of the vibrations, but you can change the number. So it's a little bit more like previous BlackBerry devices in that way. Clearly, the main kind of reason to get this phone, other than the beautiful build quality, is the keyboard and potentially the battery life. The battery life on here has been excellent, better than the Z10 that I've seen so far. But the keyboard is the main attraction here, and it's just an amazing keyboard. Great experience overall. Can't wait for all the apps that I like on the Z10 to come here to the Q10 and grace us with their cascade-like presence. One quick thing that I want to show you before I go is Skype. Now, Skype is an Android port, but it's been ported over with BlackBerry's help onto the Z10 and Q10. This will be available in the coming weeks. Now, this is pretty much the same experience as you'll find on Android. It's literally an Android app just ported over using the Android runtime available for BlackBerry 10. And here you have it. You can make calls, you can text with people, and generally just enjoy the same features as you would on the on Android. So you have your dialer here. You can make calls, you can add contacts. You just press the top left to go back, and there you have it. So that's a quick look at the BlackBerry Q10. It's coming out on May 1st in Canada, and it's going to be available for around $200 on a 3-year term. This is Daniel for Mobile Syrup. Thank you so much for watching.